Welcome back to Riding Upgrades. This segment is my first full gravel segment that I've done on this series. It's called the Lowry Road Dirt Climb. And the lead-in, which you're seeing right now, is a bit of a downhill. So I attacked this pretty hard, tried to get up and over 30 miles an hour, which I did right about here. And then tried to carry that momentum up onto the first part of the hill. Because the segment actually doesn't start right away where you think it would. If you watch the clock at the top left, you'll see it starts right about now. So that's where the segment actually starts. So I hit that at about 15 miles an hour because there's a little bit of a slope beforehand. As you can see by the elevation profile, this one is a real nasty climb for the first section, and then it's got some lumps and bumps, and that's where I figured I could lay into it to my advantage. But I did sort of give this first section all that I could. It's pretty much a 500 watt effort for me to do this fast. So that's what I tried to put down. Tried to also keep my cadence high, up around 80 if possible. But it's pretty steep. About 10% for most of that. So it's about a minute at about 10% grade until we start to level off at the top here. And I went into aero pretty early here, really trying to sneak out whatever advantage I could, because I knew those flats are coming up. But I'm already at pretty much max heart rate after a minute and a half. So that gives you a sense of how hard I was trying to throw down here. Now we're into the flats, the first section of flats. We actually get a little bit of a downhill, so I did my best to not let up on the power, and definitely wanted to stay over 300. Tried to gun it for about 400, even though I was going downhill at some points. A little easier said than done, but I kept the speed up. Went into this slight rise here, over 400 watts, and still with a high cadence. So I tried to push through here and really keep the speed over 20 miles an hour over this little rise, which was a little harder than I expected, but I did it. And then I was down into the second sort of dip, and this is all the recovery that I might get, but I didn't really take any break and just push through, trying to get up towards 30 miles an hour again, and then heading up for the last section of the climb, which is this part here. And that was going pretty well, and at this point I had looked at my computer, and it was telling me I was about 2 seconds ahead of the KOM, so things were going pretty well, until all of a sudden disaster struck, and my chain came off. Upon further inspection, it got wedged, and it was just unrideable, and that was a DNF. So you win some, you lose some. That left me on the hill. Luckily, this is really close to my house, so I was able to walk it home. But I'll be back another time.